But they did not see his suffering. They did not see his betrayal. They did not see him getting beaten. They did not see him humble. Can someone say amen? So all of those things were hidden, like in that mountain. They were hidden mysteries. And he's going to start to try to reveal those things. But turn around and tell somebody, we're a little bit hard-headed. And we got the same problem his disciples had. Same issues. Not understanding the things that Jesus has acquired for us. So in the 14th chapter of the Gospel of John, Jesus begins to tell them, I'm leaving. So he said, let not your heart be troubled. Can someone say amen? He said, you have believed in the Father, now believe in me. Listen, unless you were Jehovah, you couldn't say that. Because you could not take the attention off Jehovah. Under the Jewish custom and Jewish teaching that there's only one God. Jesus is the same God. Can someone say amen? So he can tell the people, you believe in Jehovah. You believe in God the Father. He says, now, believe in me. And then he tells them that the servants are not greater than the master. This is what he's telling them if we read it. In John the 14th chapter, I don't have time. It would take forever. Turn around and tell them, we got forever. But you're going to fall asleep long before forever comes. Can someone say amen? I can already see it in those little eyes of yours. It's starting to go down. But that's when he tells them, the servant is not greater than the master. And he tells them, they have hated me, they will hate you. And he's telling them this. He's telling them, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go prepare a place for you. But I want you to know, as they have hated me, they are also going to hate you. In the 15th chapter, my mind just went blank, but in the 15th chapter, he brings up those same issues again. That they're going to suffer. There's going to be consequences. Can someone say amen? And so now we're going to pick up on the 16th chapter. He tells them he's going to be leaving. And that's their focus. They're all worried. Where is Jesus going? He's been with us all this time, and now he's telling us he's going to go. Remember, he told them, I'm going to prepare a place in my Father's house. So where is he going? Say heaven. But they didn't understand that. They couldn't understand that. So their Father's house could have represented the temple. One of the things about John, too, when John wrote the Gospel of John, the temple was already destroyed. Because that was destroyed in 70 A.D. And they estimate the time of the Gospel of John, it was written about between 80 A.D. and 90 A.D. So it was already gone. He was the eldest living disciple. The other ones had been martyred. Can someone say amen? He's the only one who died of old age. And they say that he was the pastor over at Ephesus, and that's where he was at when he wrote the Gospel of John. That he was the pastor over there. I like history, so I was looking all of this stuff up. I can tell you're bored. Amen? All right, so let's go to John 16, verse number 1. I have said all these things to keep you from falling away. So this is why John writes all of this. Because the church is falling away from the truths. Everything that is dependent on our salvation and all the truths that Jesus came to establish and the things he has done, they no longer have faith. I was reading about where they thought that Jesus was purely a ghost, a phantasm that had come back. And even his disciples thought that for a minute. And that's why Jesus ate fish in front of them. Because they thought he was a ghost. If you read your Bibles, that's what they say. They thought he was a ghost. But there ain't no ghost going to eat fish. Because you've all seen Casper try to eat. Can someone say amen? And all those old cartoons from the 40s and 50s, when they try to drink it, it runs right through them. How many remember that nonsense? I'm just doing that to make you smile. But that was the truth. They thought he was a ghost. They were not believing that he had resurrected. But anyway, he says, I say all these things so you won't fall away. The second verse. They will put you out of the synagogue. Indeed, the hour is coming when whosoever kills you will think he is offering a service to God. So he tells them he's leaving. He's telling them they're going to hate them. And they're getting distressed at this. Because most of all, they're bummed because he's going to leave. But they think he's going to another country, another place, just like the religious leaders. They thought he was going to go out to the outskirts, to the other nations. But he says, the time is coming where they're going to put you out of the synagogue. In the Spanish church, it worked a little easier because I had the Herreras there. I had Gabe and all of them. Those kids have been raised in church. There's Jessica right here. She's one of them. And some others have.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they knew. All their lives they had been in church. It's a part of their life. And it's the same way with these Jewish kids, Jewish men. All of their life they had been raised in the worship of Jehovah and being able to go to the synagogues. And Jesus tells them, the time's coming, they're going to boot you out. And those of us that have been coming to the men's prayer breakfast, this is one of the subjects. Because early on, the church, and especially the leaders like Peter, would go in and preach in the synagogue. I always tell people, go try that today and see what happens. They would throw you out on your face. Can someone say amen? But that's how the church started. It started in the synagogues. But Jesus tells them that's going to come to an end. He's foretelling the future of what is going to take place. Not only that, he tells them, and he's talking to his disciples, because this is hours before he is betrayed. This is hours before he is beaten, and all of these things take place. This is hours before he's going to be crucified. And he tells them, they're going to kill you, and they're going to say they're doing a service to God. Because that's what they're going to say about Jesus. Let's kill him, and the people will be better off. Amen? And like I tell you, all the other disciples, Peter, Paul, Luke, Mark, Matthew, Andrew, later with Stephen, they're all going to be killed. Some are crucified. It says that one of them was sawed in half. Could you imagine that? Others were stoned. But he's telling them that. He said, whoever kills you thinks he's going to be offering a service to God. Verse 3. And they will do these things because they have not known the Father nor me. The Apostle Paul was one of these guys. And he thought he was on a mission from God when he went to disrupt the church and to shut the mouths of those that preach Jesus. I can't tell you how powerful that name is. You want to stir things up? Preach Jesus. You want to talk about Jehovah or God? Just say the word God. Nobody freaks out. But you start talking Jesus, and that's when trouble comes.
Amen.
I always tell you, I did not like it. Before I became a Christian, I did not like it when somebody talked about Jesus to me. They can talk about God because God is what? The sun and the stars, a bird that flies, a cow that's chewing on grass out in the field. But say Jesus, and this is before I became a Christian, and I would tell them, don't you talk about Jesus to me. I don't want to hear it.
You're bad.
That's because I was bad. But I was just like these men, and I was just like what Jesus was saying here. Can someone say amen? Verse number 4. But I have said these things to you, that when their hour comes, you may remember that I told them to you. I do not say these things to you from the beginning, because I was with you. So Jesus tells them, and this version is not clear as some of the other versions, but it says, I'm telling this so that when it happens, you'll remember what I told you. Because remember, they can't see this. That mountain back there. It's a mystery to them. They can't understand how the Messiah could come and the people will want to kill us. And we could talk about the Christ, the Messiah, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Lamb of God, the bread of life, and they would want to kill us. They can't understand it. It's a mystery to them. It doesn't make any sense. But Jesus tells them, I want you to remember that. I did not say these things from the beginning. Why? Because he said I was with you. Jesus was there to protect them all that time. All attention was on Jesus. Kill Jesus. Don't kill Peter. Kill Jesus. Don't kill Andrew. Kill Jesus. Don't kill Mark, Luke, Matthew, James. Kill Jesus. But he's not going to be there because he's already telling them. This is hours before. He's preparing them for what is about to take place. It is going to be the darkest hour of their life. You think you had it bad? You ain't seen nothing like this. And John was a witness of what was going to take place. He was there at the crucifixion because Jesus, remember, said, here's my mother. She's now your mother. Take care. We have no idea of what these men were going to go through. Could someone say amen? Amen. Jesus is talking to them. He's trying to prepare them. Everything's been a mystery. 16:5. Down here. She vacated the premises. I've been waiting a long time. I had my back turned. I didn't even do it. But now I'm going to him who sent me. And none of you asked me, where are you going? Their only concern is, he ain't going to be around, and all these terrible things are going to happen. But nobody's asked them, where are you going? He told them where he's going. He said, I'm going to prepare you a place, because in my Father's house, there are many rooms.
Many rooms?
Huh?
You said many rooms?
Yeah. Other versions will say different things, so, but we don't have time to go. I would go to all these scriptures, but it would take forever. Say you're taking forever already. All right. At least you be honest. But you're not asking me where I'm going. Because they're only concerned about one thing. Jesus is not going to be here. But nobody said, well, where are you going? And why are you going? And what benefit will it have towards us if you go? Would be a good thing to ask. Can someone say amen? Verse number 6. But because I have said these things to you, sorrow has filled your heart. So they're bummed. Turn around and give somebody that bum look. I've seen them before. Can someone say amen? Oppressed, depressed, and suppressed. These are the words I always use about the church. Everybody's oppressed, depressed, and suppressed. And it's all because they don't understand what Christ has done for you. Because if you understood what Christ has done for you, you could never be oppressed, depressed, and suppressed. Mark preached a good message on the difference between happiness and joy. Joy is based on what Christ has done for you. Happiness is based on the things that take place. Can someone say amen? Amen. Your car gets stolen. That's a thing that will make you depressed. I had my car. I remember walking out. It took a little bit for it to register. I would tell my story. It's a great story. Could someone say amen? Go out there, go out in my driveway, see the spot of oil where my car is usually parked. Looked at that. I had my coffee in my hand. It's early in the morning, 6 o'clock. I said, I got to clean that oil spot. I go back in the house. I put some more coffee on. I drink another cup. I read my book that I like to read. I go back out, stand there again, look at that, and I said, I've really got to clean that spot. And then it dawns on me, my car is gone. 6:30 in the morning. Hallelujah. Yeah, the coffee started to kick in. And I'll tell you, this is the truth. This is what I said. I'm standing right here. Janie's in the house. Where's our car? And then I conclude, it's been stolen. So I go inside and I tell Janie, these are the truth. This is a true story. I go inside and tell her, and the first things out of her mouth are, you're lying. I said, no, our car is gone. No, you're lying. You know, I play around, I kid around a lot. And it would be something I might do. Might. You would. She comes outside, she goes, oh my gosh, they really did steal it. This is what's taking place here. Sorrow has begun to fill their life.
Did you clean the oil up?
I did. It's not there anymore.
I'm happy with my
The
dog.
sorrow was taking in because Jesus said he's leaving. Because they're going to be hated. Because they're not going to be allowed in their synagogue. Because they may die. Can someone say amen?
Amen.
So in verse 7. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is to your advantage that I go away. I want that to sink in, because that's a mystery right there. The advantage of Jesus physically leaving this earth. And I always share this, and people look at me very funny. I always tell them, Jesus is not physically here. I will say he's in my heart, but he is not physically here. Remember, 2 and 3 gathered, Jesus shall be in the midst, but he is not physically here. It's a mystery, but he is not physically here. And I remember when I got that understanding, I asked the Lord, what do you mean by that?
Tell us.
I was just like everybody else. Can someone say amen?
What do you mean by that?
Well, we'll see. He's going to explain it to me. And it is. It's explained. It's a revelation. It's a mystery that is revealed to us. But it's to our advantage, is what it says here, that I go away. For if I do not go away, the Helper will not come to you. So Jesus says, if I don't go, the Helper, later he reveals who that Helper is. Who is the Helper? The Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit.
Amen.
So the Holy Spirit could not come until Jesus left. And he tells them, it's to your advantage. Because I would always look at just the 3 days that Jesus is buried, how the church acts when Jesus is not around. And he'll even tell you in advance what is going to transpire. We went to the last verses of this chapter. He tells them how you are going to act. He tells the disciples exactly what they're going to do. It's not a mystery to him. It's a mystery to them. They can't understand it. Because they think that if the Messiah comes, everything is going to be honky-dory. Yeah, honky-dory. But he says, but if I go, I will send them to you. So that's why I make that statement. God's gift to the world is Jesus. But Jesus' gift to the church is the Holy Spirit. And it's for your advantage. That's why the last day of that feast, when he was over there, when I first started this message, he said, drink of me. And if you drink of me, there will be rivers of life flowing out of you. And then John, who wrote this in about 80 AD, he tells you what Jesus was saying. Because it's been revealed to him. Because Jesus is already ascended to the Father. And Pentecost has already happened. And he says this. And when you read it, it's his commentary in the gospel. He says he was talking about the Holy Spirit. And he said the Holy Spirit had not yet come because Jesus had not yet ascended, the mystery. But he goes on to say in his little commentary right there, John writes it down so that the church will know. Because the church has already forgotten in 80 AD. We're in 2018. Can you imagine how far off we are now? If in 80 AD they're already off course, imagine what the church in reality is like in 2018. We don't know what the heck is going on. Can someone say amen? And it's not true, because we've been very fortunate to have good teaching. And it's taken a bit for it to gain root and start to grow and then start to produce the fruit that is now taking place in this body. But that's what he tells them. I will send it to you. And it's for your advantage. And then John says in that little commentary, he sends it tells them, Jesus was talking about him being ascended, and he says, everyone that believes receives the Holy Spirit. So Jesus is not physically here, but this is how Jesus works in us, speaks to us, empowers us, is through the Holy Spirit. So you have the Father, the Son, and now the Holy Ghost is working. And who sent him? Jesus. Turn around and tell somebody, he's got my attention now. It took him a while, but now he's got my attention. Spanish church, they left here confused. Is that what I'm saying? It doesn't translate well. I was trying to share it the best way I could, but it's very hard because, again, getting my thoughts out of my head and into another person, and then getting them to say what I'm thinking is impossible. It's a mystery. Turn around and tell somebody, that's a mystery in itself. But with you, I know I can do it because we speak the same language. And so I'm taking that middle person out, and I'm starting to share what is in my mind to you. That was in his mind that John was trying to reveal to the church that had gone astray. We'll leave it at this, and then we'll come back again. Okay?
Okay.
It's good stuff. And then Jesus is now going to start to explain some things. He's going to share the mysteries to them. The mystery of his death, and he's going to use it in context. He's going to keep saying, I'm going somewhere, and in a little bit, I'll be back. And they're going, what does he mean? In a little while, he will be gone, and then in a little while, he will be back. And then he said, he's going back to where he came from. What does he mean by that? But he's going to try to tell them, but he's going to also tell them this. You're not ready. And when were they going to be ready? When the Holy Spirit comes. That's why he said, it's important for me to go. Precious Father, we thank you. We thank you, precious Jesus, for this wonderful plan of salvation. And Holy Spirit, we just thank you that you are in every believer here. Now we just pray for the river of lives to flow in each and every one of us. It was a promise that Jesus gave, and it is something Jesus gave us with his death, his resurrection, and his ascension. We thank you in the precious wonderful name of Jesus. And everyone said?
Amen.
All